Pecha Kucha 25, Holy Crapola, and Police Pigs. So I've had a really strange week. I worked super hard on Monday and Saturday and did just about nothing for the rest of the week. So I don't know if this was a good week or a bad week. We're going to have to figure that out going forward for next week. But let us begin. So, Holy Crapola, continuing from James's comic Impact Got Powers. So, I decided to push things forward. I was going to do a 3-page thing where Impact uses his powers to break out of his cell and, push things to the next push-off point. So he's just, broken out, punched through some stormtroopers. He's like, yeah, I'm awesome. And then, Darth Vader shows up and throws him through a door in the side of the hallway. I saw a video of Darth Vader in Rogue One going through a corridor full of rebels, and I thought, yeah, he deserves a little bit of respect, doesn't he? And this is him going through that doorway. Gets up and montages in there, so they finally meet. So this is some big plot points, and I felt I could have spread this out over 4 pages. So doing a fight scene, there's no half-assing it. I've got to have my action lines and my dynamic composition, but these are things that I don't know how to do even with a pencil half the time. So doing it digitally was a massive challenge. I'm not sure if anyone would give a pass on the angles of the stormtroopers, but this is kind of where I've ended up, full coloured. Pretty dark and grey, but at the end of the day, that is the colour of the Death Star, and I'm kind of attached to it. So onomatopoeia in there, second one, trying to match James's use of the special effects for the energy. Here comes Vader, and there goes Impact into the doors. I thought the ham and cheese joke was keeping in character, because we are developing these characters collaboratively, so that's always good. Light and dark playing maybe too much of a role, because it's like this is the first 3 panels of this are obviously quite silhouette-y, but that can't continue because it's too much of a maintenance thing. So yeah, in the creation of this, I found I spent an awful lot of time doing things that I wouldn't have thought, like the lighting for the Death Star is even a poor representation, but even this takes time. I have to put these things in perspective. So I've kind of learned a lot about the transform tool. I was using skew, I think, and individually moving most of the rectangles I was making. I was originally not going to have onomatopoeia for the punch, and then I kind of thought, well, let's put it in and see what it looks like. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I didn't realize this was missing until I put it in. It's like, yeah, it should be there. You don't throw a punch to silence, do you? That's not the way comics work, except it is. I just yesterday started work on my final D&AD hand-in thing. Cat trying to figure out what to do with his life. These are my roughs. This is the first one. He works in the hospital with all the doctors. I spoke briefly about this last week. Yeah, only I can figure this out. This is him being a police pig, because his parents see an ad in the paper and they just think, oh, yeah. There was kind of supposed to be an obvious time increase in each of the pages, because you don't just become a doctor, you don't just become a policeman. And here's where he's put the beret on and he's become an artist, and this one is going to be the only page, I think, in color, or at least like the final big image will be in color to kind of show that, yeah, he's found his way and it's all come together. But yeah, I should have given this a lot more time to do it properly than the time I'm going to give it. So as I'm doing it, I'm starting to realize, oh yeah, I'm not very good at this. So try to do a bit more of a complex layout and use more characters than I usually do. I've decided I actually need to start doing like extra layers of like under, what would you call it? Support, so that I can, like, when I put my final inks on top, they've got a bit more weight to them and things look like they're in the right place, and it's not so much guesswork. So looking at the characters on their own layer, they look like they're actually pretty robust, at least for me. except for the dog's hand at the bottom, but I'm hardly finished, right? So one way to compensate for the artwork of the characters not being particularly good is to have, like, you know, a lot of things happening in the scenes. So trying to figure out how to do a hospital is just, you know, this is what I mean when I say I should have done proper research, because there's all kinds of things in a hospital that have ergonomic reasons. So second page, which I was working on last night, police pigs, you know, using green for the background, blue for the characters, trying to make sure that I kind of know what's going on and that I can get my reference stuff in if I can find stuff. So, you know, this is the finished lines as it stands now. Bit of cross hatching to add a bit of depth. Need to add the background to the top right panel, maybe the top left. Maybe define the students being kind of harassed by the police a bit more, and obviously clean out all the lines in the background that go through the characters. So yeah, when I did the Holy Crapola stuff, it was in one sitting, all of it on Monday. And by the time I got to the third page, I was ready to tap out. I'm in two minds about if this is the way it should be. You know, you work, and you go through the uncomfortableness, or if really you should have a work-life balance that's a little bit soft. You know, I have to figure this out going forward. I suspect it's better that you work too hard than not hard enough. So what have I got to do next week? The cat guy thing. I need to give it a name, but it's you know, it's due on Wednesday, so it's almost done. The DNAD thing. We effectively have our hand in for the university's studio work for this term on Friday, and I couldn't care less, and I've done practically nothing. And as you've seen in this week's Pecha Kucha, it's not what I was doing this week. So I've got about 3 or 4 days to go from 0 to 100, and I'm still not sure if I care. Holy Crapola, as soon as James finishes his pages and sends them to me, yep, that's what I'll be doing. I still haven't spoken about Horizon, which is good, because usually when I talk about games, it's to cover up the fact I haven't actually done that much work. So that's good. And Mr. Pickles, Adult Swim is what I want to be when I grow up. Mr. Pickles is maybe the exemplar of my generation and what we do and why it's awesome and horrible at the same time. And then I'm thinking maybe I'm going to start throwing an image on this page so there's something to laugh at or look at while I'm rambling on. But that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 25, and I will see you next time.